Does Joe Biden hate the UK?
Well, I think the first thing I must say, to be fair, is he is the President of the United States of America, the greatest country in the whole Western world. So he has a profile, he has a position, and it's one that we recognise. So from that point of view, we do welcome the President of the United States to Northern Ireland, even though it was only for a short time, for a so-called latte moment with our Prime Minister. But we do also recognise that he could perhaps use his influence, and I think he should have used influence. I don't think if he has, I suspect he hasn't, with the Prime Minister, to suggest to him that we need to get the unionists on board in the framework, Windsor Framework, and the process moving forward. That opportunity was lost, or perhaps maybe that it may have been more than just a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. But at the end of the day, he is the President of the United States, greatest country in the world, the greatest democratic country in the world, and we have to recognise that position. And also the fact, let's be honest, 17 of the United States presidents came from Northern Ireland. Where are we, Northern Ireland, that we live in? So that tells of the influence and the contact historically, culturally, between Northern Ireland and the United States. It's very important for us to continue to have that.
Do you think it was actually a little bit rude of Joe Biden to come to Northern Ireland and spend more time in bed asleep there than he did actually pressing the flesh and trying to do anything diplomatically?
Well, I mean, all I would say is I would like to have used his influence more constructively, and perhaps bending the Prime Minister's ear to find a way forward for unionists to be part of this Windsor Framework, to move forward in a constructive fashion, to ensure that the mandate that we have, which was won at the elections in May of last year, could ensure that we as unionists would see the process as something that we could be part of. At this moment in time, we can't. And the Prime Minister needs to be convinced of that. Perhaps maybe the President could convince him, or could have used that time more constructively to do just that.
Sinn Féin have said that what Joe Biden has done is put pressure on you to get back in Stormont, get the power sharing deal sorted. Sinn Féin are saying the onus is on you now, and that's the way that this looks as a result of Joe Biden's comments.
Well, there's no pressure in the DUP, because we've got a mandate that was delivered in May of last year at the elections, a mandate that said that the Northern Ireland Protocol had to be sorted. The Windsor Framework does not sort it. It falls far short of what we wanted. We've told the Prime Minister, we've instructed the Prime Minister, because in the negotiations and talks that we've had, that the constitutional position of Northern Ireland must be cemented within the United Kingdom and not within Europe. The influence of Europe must be diminished, and we must be in the same page as the rest of the United Kingdom. We're not at this time, and we need to have that. So I think the pressure isn't on the DUP. We're sticking by our mandate, we're sticking by our promise to the people, and we will ensure that we don't move. We've asked the Prime Minister to address the constitutional position of Northern Ireland. We've asked the Prime Minister to address the issue of the European Court of Justice. We've asked the Prime Minister to address the issue of the outstanding issues about pets medicine, about the movement of cattle, about all the issues for fishermen. None of those are sorted. We've made those things very, very clear to the Prime Minister. He's a lot to do, and the pressure is on him, not on us.